What's up, guys? I already did a video over this card, but they changed the main event out and they added one fight to this card. So I'm just going to go over the changes real quick in these two fights and give y'all my predictions on those, and I'll tell you my bets again. Um, so they added Jim Miller and Alexander Hernandez to this card, and this is a sketchy fight to bet. you know, um, Jim Miller was originally supposed to fight Gabriel Benitez on this card, and then I thought they had switched that to a later card, and then I guess Benitez was out, so they went ahead and filled it in and put Alexander Hernandez in there. Jim Miller is 39 years old, 5'8" with a 71-inch reach, and we all know him, man. He's a legend. He's got good submissions. His boxing's really came around here lately. He's got a few knockouts, in his past three fights. He's on a three-fight win streak right now. Been around the game forever. I'm a big Jim Miller fan, always have been. But it's just the thing where he's getting the right fights. He's fighting these guys that are newcomers to the UFC, and then he's either that or he's taking on a legend that's late in the game like Donald Cerrone, and getting the victory over him, with a guillotine choke. So we all know, if you're a fan of the sport, you know Jim Miller, you know what he's good at, you know how he fights nowadays, and he's he's still got it, and in the spot he's going to be taking on Alexander Hernandez. He's 30 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. Um, his last fight was his debut at 145, and he really was putting a beating on Billy Quarantillo for that first round and kind of gassed himself out. And Billy weathered the storm and ended up coming back and getting the finish on him. So I guess this fight's back up at lightweight, so he's going back up. Um, yeah, this is a tricky fight to bet because even though Alexander Hernandez hasn't looked that great, I don't think that he's so bad that I feel like he should be able to get the win here. Uh, he's really explosive. I like his striking. He actually has pretty good wrestling. It's just his cardio doesn't always last through the 3 rounds, and he's usually good for a good round and a half, 2 rounds. I mean, Jim Miller's a legend. He's been on kind of a hot streak right now, so I wouldn't say it's a bad bet to take Jim Miller in the spot. Um, but I feel like Alexander Hernandez is a little bit better than the Eric Gonzalez and Nicholas Mata, and Donald Cerrone at this point in his career. Donald's retired now, so I'm gonna pick Alex to win this. Um, probably gets a either a oh man, I almost want to say knockout, but Miller hasn't really been getting knocked out. He's been going to decisions, so I think maybe Alexander Hernandez takes the first 2 rounds with his explosiveness and his power, and Jim probably wins the third, and Alex gets the decision. But I wouldn't be surprised either way. And this is a really sketchy fight, so this isn't something that I'd be putting any money on. But if I did have to put money on it, I would say put it on Miller because he's a good underdog, and he's always got the chance to win it. He's not he's live to get the win here, but I do think Alex should be able to win this fight. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be going with Alex, but I wouldn't put any money on this fight, guys. And next, they changed our main event out to Jessica Andrade taking on Erin Blanchfield. And originally, she was supposed to be taking on Talia Santos, and I picked Talia Santos because she put on such a good performance against the champ. And so this is interesting that Andrade is jumping in on 3 weeks after 3 weeks after her last fight, even though she took no damage in that fight. It was just her beating the crap out of Lauren Murphy for 3 rounds. But um, so Jessica Andrade is 31 years old, 5'1" with a 62-inch reach. She's 24-9. She's currently on a 3-fight, winning streak, with her last loss being to the champ. And she's a level above most people. I mean, she's just basically the number 2 contender, and will kind of always be. She's so good, so powerful. She's just so well rounded, great striking, good power, good submissions, and she keeps showing it all off. It's just she hasn't been able to get past the champ. And she's been through a couple weight classes and been a champion and everything. So she's really talented. And and I'm gonna cut to the chase because I've already gone over Erin Blanchfield and everything, and she's really talented, and she's well deserving of this shot. She's undefeated in the UFC, but I'm going with Jessica Andrade here, and they don't have a bad price on her right now. She's minus 190. I think she's going to be too short, too stocky, too powerful for Erin Blanchfield to get the takedowns on. And I see Jessica Andrade's either getting maybe a standing guillotine choke here, or maybe a knockout even. And you can get a pretty good price on her. I think she's like minus 180 right now on one of my books, one of my sports books. So that's not a bad price at all. I don't fault anybody for taking Blanchfield, but Jessica Andrade is way too experienced. I mean, she should be a level above Erin Blanchfield in this spot. I know Erin Blanchfield's good, but I feel like she's kind of got a lot to prove because she really hasn't had like the super tough fights. I mean, I know these fighters are pretty good, but JJ Aldrich and Miranda Averick or whatever, but they're not like up in the top like five of the division. So I'm gonna be taking Jessica Andrade to win, and yeah, I'm probably gonna wind up with some money on her in this spot. So uh, probably put like 3 unit play on her. But and what else? So yeah, UFC 284 just happened. 3 of my 5 bets hit on that card. One of them was a good minus 115 play on Joshua Kulibau. My two that didn't hit, I had a two-man parlay with Tugov and Tyson Pedro that didn't hit. Tugov got robbed. Pedro looked like shit. And then I had a play on Shane Young that didn't go through. But those two were like my smallest bets. So I was really stressing through the Makachev fight. I did not expect it to be that close, and Volkanovski really proved that he's one of the best in the world because he really could have got that decision, and he really could get a win over Makachev if they fought again. So super impressed with that. I had a big play on Makachev, a big play on Jack Della Manalina at minus 275, and I had the play on Joshua Kulibau, which is a pretty good play. And that fight was a little stressful too at first because he wasn't able to get much going on the feet. Then he ate that spinning back kick to the junk. So, but he came back and he was able to rock Melsick with a little jab, make him stumble, and then hop on that neck real quick. And that's what I said, that I knew Joshua Kulibau would be able to use his ground game if he had to, and he did, and he got the job done. So now I've got to turn around after this and do another video on on next week's card. So I appreciate it, you guys. Have a good one. I'm out of here.